In the first part of this project, I discussed the condition of the painting upon its arrival, focusing on its structural state. My professor and I took the initial steps to stabilize the canvas, including leveling the areas around the hole and aligning the large tear. You can watch the first video in this series by following the link in the description below. And now I will continue with the stabilization of the paint layer. After an urgent stabilization from the back to minimize the risk of further damage to the painting, it is important to proceed with the facing of the painting. There are several ways to do this, and normally in my studio, I apply the facing using a gelatin based adhesive. However, here in the restoration department, we have different methods. And today, I'm using an adhesive we made based on rice starch. We mix it with hot water first, and then we add some more heat, and then it's ready. This is a nice system because, as you will see in the future, when I reverse it, it will come off in a very easy way. I normally apply the facing in one or several large sheets of paper at once, but today I'm using a different technique, applying it in smaller pieces that go over the painting, and then I apply the glue. This allows me to have a different control of the areas that are damaged on the surface and paint layer, so I can control it better on the way I apply to protect them. So the facing was applied in all painting, so the painting is all protected, and it's easy for me now to manipulate the painting with more security. And I'm going to start what I think it is a really colossal task, because to remove these patches, you cannot believe the work that was needed. Here I apply a paper with a mix of solvents. I have, I think, about three or four different solvents here, and I tried it before, and I found out that this would work a little bit better. Could do any a little bit of action over the the glue, but in fact, it was not that big help, as you will see. But these patches were applied definitely with a glue based on lead white, probably mixed with some animal glue also, and this mix makes it very difficult to come out. but to advance with the further steps of the restoration, this really needs to come out. Here I have a piece of muslin that I spoke in the first part, and this kind of muslin was applied to stabilize a tear, and over this muslin it was applied patch that I already removed there. I couldn't remove the muslin, but I will remove it later because also has to come out. As you can see here, uh, this this is the patch. The glue remains attached to the canvas, but this is the patch that needs to be removed. The solvents did act a little bit, but as you can see, the glue stays there and needs to come out. Here in this small patch, and I think another glue was applied. Mm, I don't think it is red white glue, but it's also a glue with a lot of power. So probably it's a glue with a very high concentration. If it is a glue based on animal glue, it is really, really strong because as you can see, it doesn't come out easily. And this was a lot of time trying to remove it and being careful so I don't damage the canvas more than it already is. And in fact, I would like to make you a question. You know, I leave my camera recording, so the process is long. But sometimes, I don't know, I'm curious if you, and you can tell me in the comments, please, because I would appreciate. Sometimes I wonder if you like, for example, to watch a video only with the process going on. Because, for example, the facing is it's a long process, but it's interesting to watch for those that are in love with restoration. I think can be interesting. For example, I consider myself that I really love conservation. So for me, it would be a pleasure to watch the, the whole work. I wouldn't mind. Of course, that some of you, of course, will think, oh, maybe this is boring or something. But I'm curious if you can tell me your opinion. If it would be a good idea, for example, on Sundays that I could publish when I have a project that has situations that are long that if you would like to watch because I can publish that video um, for example like a SMR video and then only I will not speak or speak very few words, but normally you will just follow the actions that that I'm performing, that I'm doing. Of course, that I'm not going to upload all the process because some of those processes are hours really, and I'm not going to do that. But maybe if I can publish video with 1 hour or a little bit more, I don't know. Uh, but for example, showing all the steps or all the process that, for example, I did on the face or how I did remove, or even when I'm retouching, because the retouch is so many hours, and I normally just, how can I say, I try to choose parts of it, and I don't show everything, of course, because otherwise it would be very long. But I really would like if you can, please, just give me your opinion so I could check more or less if it would be okay for you or not for, for me to publish that. That would come as an extra video. Normally, I do publish on Tuesdays, but for example, this video, this extra video, would be when I consider that it's a video that is with the long process. Probably, I would only just publish it, for example, on a Sunday or Saturday or Friday. I don't know yet, but I appreciate, and once again, it's a help for me. Okay, if you can give me your opinion. So I thank you upfront for your opinion and for your thinking about this. Bonjour.
Merci. Voilà, s'il vous
Merci.
plaît.
I recently attended a fine art fair, and art fairs are amazing events. There are so many beautiful and diverse pieces of art, from painting to sculptures to furniture, porcelains, and jewels. It is just amazing. This time there was an exhibition space that impressed me a lot, with two candelabras called Night and Day. At first glance, they look identical, but when you go closer and look with attention, you can admire the beautiful details. Its acquisition invoice from around 1812 describes a pair of girandoles with a female figure in antique bronze carrying a basket-shaped form on her head from which four descending branches emerge, each with an old man's head in front of each candle holder. A flower in the middle of these branches with four plain branches, and in center a baluster with a candle holder. The figure stands with one foot on a small gilded mate elf's fur, adorned with polished stars, a round base with palmets in front and behind, and on each side an eagle with wings joining the top of the palmets, all placed on a square base having on the front a reclining figure, one representing Psyche and Love holding a cornucopia, the other figure watering a pot of flowers, and Love with a harrow and a torch. On both sides the sun in two cornucopias with two laurel branches at the bottom, the base with fluted moldings, the lower part of the reliefs gilded. All ornaments of these girandoles in mate gilded bronze with polished feet, attributed to Pierre-Philippe Tourmine, Paris, early 19th century. This pair of candelabras are made in patinated and ormolu bronze in an outstanding quality. This model, which is very unusual, was commissioned for the Emperor Napoleon Bonaparte's decoration of the Élysée Palace in the early 19th century. I have to confess that I am very proud of myself after all the work I did on the removing of the patches and cleaning the canvas. And here we can see where the patches were. It was very difficult, especially to remove the pieces of muslin. Here the tear is very clear now, but the pieces of muslin that were attached directly to the canvas were very difficult. And now I can start removing the nails. And this is also special because those nails are original and they have a lot of years. So they are very oxidized and they break and they don't come well or complete. But that's absolutely normal when we are conserving old painting. Here I'm just being sure that the canvas is totally free from the stretching frame so it doesn't happen any accident. And here I live. So the moment of truth is revealed and a lot of dirt of all these years is accumulated on the bottom of the painting. And it's quite interesting and sometimes surprising how a painting that normally is against the wall can really accumulate so much dirt. And but it's normal. It's, during all these years, it's normal that it appears like this. I try with this brush to remove as deep as possible in the canvas. I noticed, and it's clear that the dust is always very, the dust and the dirt is very, very deep uh, on the canvas. Here in the department, we do have this vacuum, which is very helpful. And once I have removed the stretching frame, the small parts of the patches that were under the stretching frame now are visible, and of course they have to be removed. I'm going to apply the same solvent I used to remove the larger ones, although the practice told me that I need to let it act a little bit longer so they come out easier here. I'm going to remove this small one also. Well, I noticed that those patches, they are not glued with lead white, so they come easier. In the next episode, I will continue the restoration of this painting. This will include tests I conducted for cleaning and varnish removal solutions to find out which composition is the most suitable for this painting. If you wish to watch the first episode of this restoration project, you can find the link in the description. Thank you, stay well, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.